Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Atlanta Sports Special. On today's episode, we have a very special guest, Connor Beecham, with our season preview for the Atlanta Hawks, as well as a deep dive into Week 6's preview with the Atlanta Falcons versus the Buffalo Bills. On top of that, some other sports things going on in the city, and appreciate you guys listening. Let's get it!
Yeah! ATL on the rise, you know how we do. Peachtree dreams, dirty birds flying through. From the gridiron to the diamond, courts to the pitch. We reppin' ATL sports, every team, every niche. ATL, where the flames ignite. From Truist Park to the bins at night. Dreams take flight, Hawks soar high. United we stand, reaching for the sky.
What is going on, everybody? It's another great day in the A. We're going to kick this one off for the first time, like we used to before I forgot, I think, in our last pod with a little coming back to what this day in the A here. So, Kraemer, glad to have you on as always. Glad to be working with you on this.
Always, my friend, always.
We're going to throw it really far back here with this day in the A, all the way back to 2020. Super far back in time. And we're going to talk a little bit about how the Braves threw their fourth shutout in 5 games to complete a sweep of the Marlins in the NLDS. Kyle Wright, he got the win. And what a weird season, dude. The whole shortened COVID year, Marcell Ozuna being a dog. That was a weird time in Atlanta sports history. With, the Dodgers, who I can't stand, got a Mickey Mouse ring. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, man, speaking of weird, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Falcons won the bye week.
1-0 in bye weeks. Yeah.
Clap it up, clap it up. Falcons won the bye week, which heads us into Monday night primetime game against the Buffalo Bills here in Atlanta. The non-undefeated, or should I say no longer undefeated Buffalo Bills. They looked I'm not sure if Patriots defense just looked amazing last night or this past Sunday, or if they just, are starting to fall off a little bit. So I'm very interested to see, because that offense looked very exploitable, and if our defense can keep the momentum that we've been building up these past 4 games, I 100% expect us to beat this team.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of really mental and unforced errors by the Bills in this past game. Stuff that you don't really see from a team that's coached that well and usually performs at a high level when it comes to execution. Got me really excited. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead and stay in your head for when you come around to Atlanta, man. We'd love for you to be goofing like that unless you give the Falcons 2 or 3 turnovers, which I already think they're going to go out and get some anyway. Man, we could flip this game on its head quick with how we played last week. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Last time we had a great game, came back. I said we're going to score 24 in the first half. We got goose-egged. But I think we're just a little bit different. I think it's a different situation right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bills just looked kind of lost out there against the Patriots defense, and the Patriots by no means are a super strength team, like offensively or defensively. I mean, they don't even know what they're doing in their running back room, let alone anything special that they have going for them on defense. But what is the thing I spoke about last episode, Kenny, that I said that's the best way we're going to beat the Bills? You stop James Cook. You stop Josh Allen from those design run plays, and that's exactly what the Patriots did.
Yeah, exactly. I think they did a really good job of trying to box up Josh Allen because, like we talked about too, like he's gonna have run plays designed for him, and that's just gonna happen. I think it was really good to see that, like when they kept him in the pocket, but they shrunk that pocket, like applied pressure. He had to make throws either quicker, you know what I mean? Like he still made some Josh Allen MVP throws. Like don't get me wrong, but they're beatable. Despite what everyone has thought, like they are beatable.
We know they can lose. We know they have that ability. And the thing I also want to say is that the Bills' defense was like blitzing almost every single, trying to just get in Drake May's head and scare him. But the man was just completely stone cold, just ice, man. He was not able to be ruptured or be frightened by their defense that was coming at them. I mean, they have Nick Bosa now, or Joey Bosa now, that is just, somebody to fear on that defensive line. However, Drake May is also not known, at least not as known as Michael Penix, as a mobile quarterback. I mean, they make 2 mistakes on rushing. Michael Penix is going to be running for 40 yards down the field.
Right. There's a lot of stuff to key in on for this upcoming game too, and I think one of the biggest things, like when I just look at this line right here, like you would think a week ago, like what would you guess the line would have been? It'd been like 8, like Falcons have been plus 8.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Vegas has it plus 4.5. So when you had to talk about the team that's projected to be playing for a Super Bowl and the Falcons, right? And also that line is shrinking. It's getting closer. They think the same thing. And you brought up a good point. I think this game is really going to come down to 2 guys for the Falcons. On offense, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
That's really who it's going to come down to. We've been using him so versatily, and I love it. We need to see more of it. On the other side of that ball, though, I said it's 2 guys. It's really 3. The way that Ellis and Diablo are going to have to cover Dalton Kincaid is going to matter a lot. And what we saw in this last game from the Bills, at least I did a lot, was when pressure wasn't getting there, Kincaid was actually running outside of the designed routes really well. And when a backer was on him, he was getting free for like 15-yard gains at a time. We know Ellis and Diablo are absolute thumpers, right?
Oh.
So now we just need to see, and I think they can absolutely do it, especially Ellis. I think he's great in pass coverage. It's like, okay, how are you going to be able to cover on those? Like, we're gonna get him to like some 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8s. Like, can you hold those men down in pass coverage, and can those guys on the edge get there to make them throw it quick enough? That's kind of like my little keys right there. I think it's gonna be important.
It's all about our defensive line and our linebackers for sure, being able to understand the QB spy and really map out the trajectory that Josh Allen might have on some of those plays. I mean, if we could stop him, let's say 45 to 50% of the time, I mean, if we can stop him on a coin flip, that I really like our odds and our chances. We're healed up. We're getting better. AJ Terrell still lingering with that injury, so I'm not so sure.
I hope he
back.
doesn't play, to be honest with you. This is one where like we need him for the second half of the season fully healthy. So I just don't think it's worth it right now.
I also wouldn't say that, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discredit any of these wide receivers that play for the Bills. Don't get me wrong, like they have some great players on their team, but they have no distinguished superstar on their team that is somebody that needs to be 100% locked down the entire time. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely don't want to get Keon going. I was about to say, you don't want to get Keon Coleman going. But
sure, Keon Coleman might reach that status one day. He's in his 2nd year. He's a big boy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But that's a large man. But I think we really do have, on defense at least already, the ability to stop him in that way. And just if we keep putting pressure on Josh Allen the way the Patriots did, and it kind of get him to scramble and have to run to the side and try to make a throw, and then we just cover Keon Coleman to the best of our ability, I really like our odds in those deep passes that we've seen.
Yeah, especially with Xavier Watts playing the way he is, man. I think, I'm pretty excited for him and Bates to have big days coming up here this week.
The key player on the Bills, when it comes to those wide receivers that I say that we have to make sure we keep an eye on and don't let them get lost out there, is Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, Shakir's a dog, man. He's a game breaker. Like, I know he's not like a true wide receiver 1 like we talk about when we talk about the 5 best guys in the league, but he can break a game open.
Gadget guy. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's out here doing the jet sweeps. He's out here doing the wide receiver screens, and he's quick. When he gets that ball on a screen, the Bills are a team that can run a wide receiver screen because they understand how to do it, unlike us.
Zach Robinson would love working with Shakir on some screens. It's like
exactly
what we'd like to do with Ray if we get him going. I'd like to see Ray get going this game. I'd like to see him get 3 catches on like 3 or 4 targets.
Another player that it's not that I want to see him get ready, because of course I want to get him going, but we need to see him going, is Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, no, he's a must. It's not like Ray or Washington. We're like, we'd like to see him get some more catches. It's time for Darnell to take that step, especially after London and Pitts and Bijan have been getting so much attention in the pass game. Mm-hmm. This is a time where you come out, you finish your routes, like stuff that we've seen that's been a little bit like from Darnell so far. Like, this is when he puts it on. And I think he will put it together. Like, this bye week was probably great for him and the chemistry with Penix.
Absolutely. Kind of what you just said there. The Bills have tape on Bijan, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, all in that pass game, but you haven't seen much of Darnell Mooney at all this year. And you can't forget about somebody like that because he is our deep ball option, and he's fast. He knows how to run those good routes. So it's hopefully, I'm hoping their defense forgot about him, and then we get him going, and the man has 120 yards for a touchdown.
Man, I'd love to see him hit like a hitch and go or like a post corner where he busted in route and then back out for like a deep one. Because, I mean, we saw Penix is going to put it on a dot. I mean, he did it last week and a bunch of times where it was like, oof. So, like, let's get Darnell one of those balls. Would love to see Penix not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
It's going to be a key factor, too. I know, he threw one pick, which he knew was wrong the last week we played. But it's a no-brainer that you don't want to turn the ball over. If he throws 3 touchdowns and 1 pick, I think we still win the game.
Yeah. I want to see him try to learn from his mistakes. He had the whole bye week, right? So I'm really interested to see him look a lot better on those kind of deep balls and those dart throws he's playing. It's, it's the Bills defense, so they could bat that up in the air and get an interception out of nowhere. We've seen it before. I want to see his legs get going. I want to see this guy with like 50-plus rushing yards, to be honest.
Yeah. No, it'd be really nice. I know they're kind of babying him and not wanting to just because of past injuries, but this is a big-time game, and this is when you kind of have to reach in your bag, pull out all the tricks to beat a team like the Bills, and he's going to have to do that. Let's see what the kid's got in year 2. This is a big one.
Especially with this past week of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers squeaking out a win against Seattle, who Seattle has the best defense on paper in the league right now. Very bad when it comes to records and seeding-wise for the NFC South. So we really, if we can establish and win this game, it's going to be massive. It's going to be huge for our playoff hopes.
Yeah, and 3-2, I mean, every win sounds good, but 3-2 sounds so much better than 2-3 on your way to San Francisco the week after that.
Which San Francisco, also one of those teams, injury-ridden, but still is squeaking out wins every last drop of it.
They've revitalized Mac Jones' career. All of a sudden, Brock Purdy goes down and Mac Jones looks like a freaking quarterback genius. I'm like, what? The Shanahan. I want to beat Shanahan too, man. I can't stand him.
I think I could at least get 25 throwing yards in the NFL if I had Christian McCaffrey. I'm that confident in Christian McCaffrey.
If you're good at throwing 4-yard checkdowns and little screens, you could easily get 100 yards in that team. That's the majority of what they did when they had Deebo Samuel 2 years ago or a year ago too.
Exactly. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this game. It being played here in Atlanta is going to be awesome. The Battle of the Wings, Buffalo Wings versus that Lemon Pepper Hot. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure. I think we're still going to try to plan to see if we can get to the tailgate there.
Yep.
If that's not an issue. However, this is probably one of the biggest games of the year for our team. Without a doubt.
It's definitely the biggest. I mean, it's the biggest non-conference. Like, it's the biggest non-NFC South game. I think when you look at the schedule, we're kind of in the thick of it. Like the Commanders, Bills, 49ers. This is where you either make or break kind of the identity of a team. And so far, what I'm seeing is us finding an identity at playing 100 miles an hour, like bringing the wood. We looked past one game. We realized we can't do that. Every week is 1-0. There is no look past. It's easy to get up for games like this. What I'm going to be excited to see is when we hopefully come out 4-2 after traveling out west. And, we got a little bit of that moxie, a little bit of that swagger after playing the arguably hardest 3 back-to-back games.
Dude, I'm not even kidding you. This is just crazy timing. My friend, who's a diehard Buffalo Bills fan, just texted me saying, hey, man, my family's coming into town for the game. We're going to be tailgating on Monday. I better see you there. That is...
All right, that's a lot. We will be there.
That's crazy timing.
We will be there.
Nuts. Yeah, absolutely, man.
I'm going to talk so much smack to your buddy, dude, and his mom.
Dude, his mom is great.
And his mom, dude. His mom.
Let's see what's going on in the rest of the Atlanta sports before we get into our HAWKS season preview with Connor Beecham.
Yes, I don't think we actually talked about it last time, but like Snit has officially stepped down as the Braves manager. Did call it. Didn't know it would be the day after we recorded, ironically, but it was kind of like writing on the wall that he was going to do that, or it seemed like it was either that or he was going to be like basically told to leave. And I think this is more honoring of his legacy. I mean, he's been incredible in the organization from way back when he was assisting, doing all sorts of different positions until he became the actual manager. And I mean, like I said last time, nothing but awesome respect for a guy who's brought a lot of success and a great culture back to Atlanta. I mean, after the kind of mid-2000s where we were kind of finding an identity, getting guys like Freddie, who I know they're not here anymore, but like getting guys like that who were on the team, really establishing that culture with him. Yeah, I mean, he made everybody proud to be Braves again, so I appreciate everything he'd done, and hopefully we get David Ross. That would be my pick. Former Brave, former guy who knows the program, who's been successful in Chicago before. Would love to see him being the skipper down here in Atlanta.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. Going on to Atlanta United, they have opened the new training facility.
Awesome.
Surprised they wouldn't wait till the end of the season to do that, but that's fine.
It kind of is the end of the season for us, though, right?
I don't remember the last time they won, to be honest. It's either a draw or they lost. The last couple results we have is they had a 1-1 draw against San Diego. They had a 3-0 loss to the Philadelphia Union, and then they lost more recently to the 2-0 to New England. So they have just not been winning at all.
Yeah, it's tough to hear. I think about, like, I've admitted publicly, like, I'm not a huge Shocker guy. Like, I'd like to be. I think it's all very, very awesome. Like, you see the hype around it. I feel like going to a 0-0 draw is like the non-educated baseball fan watching a shutout. Just being like, dude, I just watched these two dudes play catch all day. Like, that was miserable.
Yeah.
I don't know how well I do. A lot of beer probably flowing at those 0-0 draw games. You know it's affordable.
It's the chance. It's also the chance. It's the crowd. It's really the environment that gets those games going. I've been there multiple times where the team suffers a pretty bad loss, and everyone is still just, still happy, chanting, doing that, instead of where if it's a Falcons game, people are just walking out during the third quarter because they've had it.
There's so much stuff to do at Mercedes-Benz, man. It's like a bar / restaurant circus in there. So We're having a bad night, just go sit at a bar and drink. It's fine.
One of the cheapest stadiums in the entire MLS and NFL.
Yeah. Just cost $400 to get into the gates. But
yeah. Again, the Atlanta Dream has wrapped up their season. They had a phenomenal and historic run. It's going to be awesome to see what changes if they go and grab anybody else or decide to extend Brittany Grinder in the offseason. But we have a nice little treat for you guys. We got a season preview with our very special guest, Connor Beecham.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, man. Connor's coming on. He's very knowledgeable, very in tune with the Hawks in general, has been a lifelong fan. And I even admitted in my past kind of like 2 years, I've been a little bit on the sidelines in viewing the Hawks. So it was really good to hear him get us, one, excited, but really break down a lot of good stuff that's heading in both defensively and offensively and what acquisitions we made. I think it's really exciting. I think y'all are really going to enjoy it. And as we're recording this too, the Hawks are getting ready to tip off for their first preseason game against Houston. So the Hawks season, man, we're 4 preseason games away from the go time.
October 22nd. Mark your calendars, folks.
Good stuff, man.
Yes. Anyway, here is the Hawks season preview with Connor Beecham.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We have Connor Beecham here, friend of the program, avid Hawks. What can we call you? A self-proclaimed expert or just
definitely
self-proclaimed fan expert?
Yeah, fan expert without stats knowledge. Yeah.
Perfect. That's exactly what we're all about here.
Yep.
The ChatGPT can do enough for stats if we need them. we handle the good stuff. We brought Connor on here, Kraemer and I, because as we look toward this Hawks season, there's a lot to get excited about. And I think, at least from my fandom, I'll hand up accountability, admit that I've been a bad Hawks fan the past 2 seasons.
As of most.
Mainly because there's been a lot in my life, new family in the picture, that has kept me from watching. And the other part of that, too, is like there's been a lot of frustration around the organization since we got Trey 7 years ago, moving into season 8, I believe, here, where we're seeing the pieces start to click. We're seeing Trey start to become the leader that we all expected him to be, and seeing this pay off going forward. So there's a lot to get hyped about if you're an Atlanta fan in general and a Hawks fan. And Connor has paid attention the past 2 seasons.
I have.
And for the past
20.
however many seasons, right, Connor?
20 seasons.
20 seasons. So he's dialed in, and we're excited to talk with him today, too. What we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about what happened last season, kind of recap a little bit of the record, some of the statistics around the Hawks that I found, and kind of what we expect to see that transition look like with the additions from the offseason. And then just take a look into the future and say, hey, what are these Hawks going to do? And I mean, Connor, I don't know if you've noticed this. I haven't heard a word from Kraemer yet, and I'm a little nervous.
Yeah. See on the
I'm a little
podcast?
nervous.
I'm good. My mic's working and everything. Glad to be here. Connor, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
man.
and I when I hopped on this call, it was our first time ever doing video with one of these. So if you're a lucky YouTube watcher, one of the two, when I hopped on here, Kraemer had a chain. His chain was out, and it looked like he had a Hawks pendant on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you set it up like when I saw it? Horrible radio for people listening, but I was like, this is the most electric
That would be
chain
electric.
I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Which now I'm going to be looking for one. on
Ice
Etsy or
tray.
something.
Ice tray.
Yeah, we're iced out for
I'll
ice
trade
tray.
the gang, baby.
We're CZs. We don't make $45 million a year like he does, though. So.
Correct.
Well, cool, man. Let's get right into it, Connor.
Get in.
I'll start us off here by just saying, like, when I kind of looked back at last season, it felt like a traditional Hawks season. If you've been tagging along the past few years, finishing close to trying to play in a play-in game, but ended up being 10th, sub 500 record, all the accolades for Trey. I mean, great all-star, leading the league and whatever he leads. I mean, points and assists. He's averaging a double-double, but where we're at, we're frustrated. Like, when you look back at last season, what are some of the kind of key indicators of what's frustrating, but also what are the key indicators of we're looking for success in the future that you saw?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple good things and a couple bad things that happened last season.
Perfect.
So where do you want to start? Bad things?
I like to leave with good things. It's we're
with
filming
good
in the
things?
morning. I just finished my coffee. Like, get me kind of excited first,
Get
and then
you
we'll
jazzed? Okay,
we'll doom and gloom
without a
after that.
doubt, the best thing from last season was Dyson Daniels, without question.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the most improved player. He came second for the defensive player of the year as a guard, which is like kind of insane. I don't even actually know when maybe we can get somebody to figure out who the last guard to win defensive player of the year was, but I don't know if it was ever. So he came second in defensive player of the year. He won the most improved player of the year. Dyson was a reliable, actually low-key scorer from last year, and he kind of carried the team in a few games. I don't know if you guys watched like a lot of the Hawks games, but Dyson Daniels was a absolute beast. I'd say secondarily on top of that, Ricochet's development was a huge thing near that back half of the season. Again, not a stats guy. If you're like, Connor, what was his shooting splits? I'm like, Kraemer, look it up. I don't know. But I think, if you watch I think he's a lanky teenager.
Yeah.
So it's like he's like 6'9". I think he's listed as 6'10" maybe this year. But last year he came in, he just like looked confused to start the season. He could shoot the ball, which was kind of legit. Really, really good splits on catch and shoot. I saw earlier as I was doing some research. But like he just couldn't find his way in terms of ball like handle.
Okay.
He was decent on defense, but Ricochet on the back half of the year, shooting splits went up, defensive numbers went up. He was like actually making an impact on the offensive side. He was actually like a pretty legit catch and shoot guy for Trey to pass to. So those are a couple of good things. I mean, Trey had another Trey season. I think he led the league in assists. I know he didn't lead the league in points, but he seems to be, when you watch things on YouTube and look at different Hawks blogs and stuff, they talk about Trey's attitude, and Trey's attitude on the back half of the season seemed to be really optimistic. I think he genuinely likes passing the basketball. Like I really
when I watched the media day this past, so I tapped in, like I'm tapped in again to the Hawks. I was watching media day interviews. When they interviewed Trey, the leadership really stood out and like a maturity that we haven't really seen from him yet. And it's not like it wasn't there. It's more like he's expressing it, because they asked stuff about like contract negotiations, because we know he's coming up for a max contract. And I think what you're talking about is like, he was like, I'm not talking about that. Like, I don't care about that.
Right.
That's going to come. I care about this roster, this season, winning right now. Like, to hear him say that, that's not kind of the path of NBA players historically across the league when they're up for max contracts. 228 or 287 million, whatever it is on the line. That's something to talk about. And for hear him being like, I care about these young guys. I care about this roster. I care about winning right now. I think that echoes the sentiment you said about last year on the back half, where it's like there's frustration with his team. All right, I'm locking in. I'm going to step up and be the leader that I know I have to be.
And you know what? I think that has to do a lot with that the Hawks management really went out and got players for him to, to work around him this coming season. So I think he's genuinely expressing gratitude, which you don't see from a lot of all-stars due to the fact usually, the general manager or, the front office doesn't really help them out. But in general, even when those superstars usually do get helped out, they don't seem as grateful as Trey is. Trey seems locked in right now.
Totally.
Right.
I think Trey is finally realizing that no matter where he goes in the league, any of the other 30 whatever teams, there's not going to be a roster that's literally built for him. Atlanta's the only team that has literally said, Trey, we're all in on you. We have to be. We traded Luka Doncic away for you. So we're going to construct the perfect roster for you. And if he looks around, it's not out there in the league.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into it too much ahead of time because I want to focus on the good and the bad. But it is like we brought in Quinn Snyder to basically be there for Trey, like a shooting, fast-paced team that's based around perimeter play. I mean, that's what he did at Utah, so that's what he's going to do here. And it seems like their pieces haven't really been there in the past. Like and I love him. Like I loved Clint Capella. Don't get me wrong, but he's not a perimeter threat at all, right? So you're still having a center who's like completely isolated, like in the inside, no outside of 7 feet, like no threat. That's very different, and we'll get into that. But it's all around Trey, right?
100%.
So good news, Trey being Trey. I love hearing about Dyson, and I did pull up some of his stats too, like 14.1 points per game, almost 6 rebounds. I'm rounding up from 5.9. If you got a guy who's averaging 14, 6, and 4 with 3 steals per game, that led the league.
Wow.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
That's
out
crazy.
there.
That's crazy play from a guy who's going into his 5th season, I think, too. That's exactly what you want to see. And it speaks to what you said, right? Like back half of the season and even carrying the team when they needed. I felt like when we lost DeJounte a couple of years back, it was like, okay, what are we going to do here? Like he was a great mid-range, and he could take the game over when Trey was kind of getting perimeter locked down or double teamed. Like you could just get him to the mid-range and shoot. Well, now there's 3 or 4 guys who can help out, and Dyson being one of them is really, really exciting.
So can I spend 1 second on that? Actually,
yeah, 100%. Would love
So go for it, man.
The fact that we went from complete chaos, DeJounte Murray, Trae Young backcourt, trying to figure out who the heck is the actual guy, right? Like who's the guy on this team? We couldn't figure it out for 2 seasons, and we traded him away and got back a better piece plus some. To me, that speaks volumes about our general manager, Ansi Saleh. This guy, he came in as a kind of the guy underneath Landry Fields for 1 or 2 seasons, but like everyone knew in the building, like this is the guy going forward. He helped construct the Warriors roster. This is the real deal guy.
He has the blueprint.
He's got the freaking blueprint. He knows ball. And so this guy, the fact that he got Dyson Daniels and plus a couple of things, Larry Nance, which didn't really pan out, but I mean, and then DeJounte goes to the Pelicans and immediately gets hurt and misses the whole season. It's like, how did we end up so lucky? I think we have a great general manager. I think it's the first general manager that I've gotten super excited about since Danny Ferry back in the day, to be honest with you.
Okay, so that also plays into, again, the whole mold of what we're going to with this team. You now have a general manager and a coach that are aligned on the strategy, which is, you talk about Larry Nance. That piece was added because it's size and can stretch, right?
Right.
So you want to be able to perimeter shoot as well as have a little bit of size on the court. It didn't pan out, you're right. We'll get into it. There's a guy that everybody knows his name. He's a unicorn. He's on the team now, and he can stretch if he's healthy. Totally. We'll get into that. Was there another good, or are we going to doom and gloom now?
We're going to doom and gloom.
Let's get right into it. This is what fuels us as pain. So let's get right into it.
From last season, the thing about last season was there was kind of a tale of 2 seasons. You had the front half where you had like kind of the bogey Dre Hunter vibe, and on the back half you had like the Terrence Mann, Karis LeVert, Larry Nance, George Niang. You had these guys in the back half, but you had a whole different team on the front half. So we just had a bunch of like total utter confusion about who we were. So like the front half of the year, Bogey couldn't shoot, but Dre was having a good season. So the fact that we couldn't get Bogey to shoot, we just really didn't have it. And Ricochet on the front half couldn't figure out how to catch and shoot a basketball at all. So we basically on the front half had 0 offensive identity. 0. Because Bogey was playing bad. Dre was playing good, but he was a 6 man. So then the second half of the season, when we like kind of traded all these guys away, we got all these guys back. We were like, okay, well, Karis can maybe do a little creation, which he did. But the downside of last year was, and this kind of actually leads to a little bit of our weaknesses for this year, candidly, is we still don't really have a secondary creator. If you look at I read a blog yesterday and it tracked the non-Trey, non-Karras stats for our offense.
Okay.
So with Trey and Karras on the court together, I think we were like, 110 offensive efficiency. With just Trey, it was like 108. With just Karras, it was like 101. And without Trey or Karras on the court, we were like 88 on offense in terms of our percentages. Okay. So like we just could not score at all without Trey or Karras on the court. So we just didn't have any secondary creation. And honestly, I'm just going to give you a spoiler for this year. I mean, that is without a doubt our absolute biggest weakness.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Well, let's start with the back too, because obviously there were some moves made to kind of address some of that scoring when they're not around and that playmaking.
Right.
With Kennard and some other guys who are going to be able to stretch the perimeter when Trey's not in there.
Yeah.
To free up some lanes.
So some of these roster additions, right, is Porzingis, Alexander Walker, Kennard, like you said. What are these guys, like these new pieces on this offense, like what are we really expected to see from these guys to give Trae Young that break and to help with the scoring in the offense?
Well, I think Nall he's a defensive guy. He started to show that he had an offensive, he had an offensive game, or at least a semblance of an offensive game for the T-Wolves, like in the back half of the year. But he was kind of their like 6'7" guy. So, but he's a defensive stud. So like, I don't really expect to see a ton of offensive efficiency. Now, Nall can shoot the three. He can't create, but he can shoot the three. Pretty good splits in the three. Kennard is literally one of the best 3-point percentage shooters of all time.
Yeah, if you go on HAWKS Media too, like on their Twitter and Instagram, they posted a video 2 days ago. I think Kennard hit like 26 straight threes.
Looking like Travis Kinney.
And Trey, yeah, that's right. Travis Kinney from 4 feet out when he's stretched and got a massage before and his back's not killing him. It's funny because, it's kind of what we expected of Bogey, and you mentioned it last season. Like, Bogey is really good for when Trey was out. He can't create off the dribble really well.
Yeah.
But he can shoot the lights out, supposedly. He didn't do that last season. And that really, it's like having Kyle Korver with a blindfold on. It's just useless on your team. So when we look at the future, right, a lot of good additions. I think when we initially traded Kobe Buffkin, right, when I saw that trade happen for cash considerations and stuff like that, I'm like, that's interesting for Hawks fans because I feel like he's been in the program kind of developing as a guard who can create and have a little more speed. So to see him go was kind of like interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see what they do because there is some depth like we talked about, but that playmaking when Trey's off the court is still a big question mark.
Yeah. I think just on Buffkin really quick, he's probably not deserving a ton of time. I think the reason they traded Buffkin is because they realized that guys like Nall and Dyson and Kennard can handle the ball.
Yeah.
And this is something I know Kennard can shoot. Like, can he handle the ball in pressure when he's got to step up? Like, there's going to be some times that we run a couple shooting guards in instead of just Trey at point guard.
Yep.
Are they going to be able to deliver from that perspective? Do you expect them to be able to at least?
I think Kennard is capable. I wouldn't say he's like an expert by any means, but I do think Dyson and Nall are. I think Dyson and Nall are trustworthy point guards that you could plug and play without Trey on the court easily.
Okay.
Just in going back to Kraemer, you're talking about additions. Just we only missed one, which is in my opinion the biggest one, which is KP Unicorn.
Yeah.
I don't know how you don't bring this one up. So I feel like you got to hit on this one because it's the biggest one of the year for sure. This guy is a complete game changer for us. He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, like, and I'm not gonna give away any of the three big strengths or whatever. But like, I do think that Kristaps Porzingis, if he stays healthy, potentially elevates us to a top 2 or 3 seed in the East. Honestly.
Wow. And I think health is, I mean, like, we can start. It's unfortunate that when you talk about Porzingis, the first word that comes out is health.
100%.
Because seemingly every single season since he's been drafted, he's put up numbers that are crazy. Like his averages per game over his career when he is playing and healthy are 19, 7, 1 and 1. That's huge production. On some teams, that's their best player. You know what I mean? And when he came in the league, he was expected to be that best player. I mean, he came in the league at a time when like guys like Joel were running the league, right?
100%.
So he was expected to be that. Didn't pan out the way people thought because of health issues. That's not to say he's not extremely effective when he is on the court.
Oh, dude. Totally, 100%. I mean, if KP's on the Wizards or if KP's on the Hornets, the guy's the best player on the court.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's not just an offensive weapon, but I mean, he can definitely help out with our defense as well. Just being able to have that big man in there is exactly what we need.
And this is getting back to stretching the court too, right? On defense, you have a guy who can rim protect just because, I mean, he's crazy long. He's 7'2", right?
Yep.
For a guy at 7'2" to have shooting splits of 46, 36, and 82, that's nuts, right? Like that's exactly what you want to see, a guy who can step back hit a three. And hit a three when people are on him too. He's not just one of those like awkward, lanky, I'm wide open, I can drain it. Like he can shoot a three in pressure moments too.
Yeah.
And he's proven that. And then that field goal percentage, obviously at 46, like that's when he's been leaned on a ton. I expect that number to be in the 50s and mid 50s based on the fact that he's not going to be the guy we have to lean on the majority of a game. Like Trey's going to create for him. I mean, am I crazy to say that?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And when it comes to, from what we've been seeing with the media day, I mean, he has really been telling reporters and any sort of media people, he keeps emphasizing how healthy he is, which given in the past when I hear players emphasize how healthy they are, they're usually lying, but he seems very confident going.
We're also
into
very
this
jaded
season
with Kirk Cousins in Atlanta to people who are talking about their health. I can tell you that.
Exactly. And it's, you know, I just am hoping to God that he is exactly as healthy as he says he is.
100%.
When we talk about additions this past year, Connor, too, if we go look at the draft, there's a guy I'm really, really high on. I know you are as a Georgia boy. I'm an Auburn fan. When we played Georgia in basketball, Asa Newell was a problem. And Auburn being a much better basketball team than Georgia, just statistically. To worry about a guy and try to plan for him and him still to go out and get 20-plus points in a game is frustrating. It's also really exciting when he's on your team in the professional level.
Totally.
He's 6'11", 220 pounds. I feel like the ceiling for him, especially working with a guy like Porzingis now, I know they're power forward and center, but still, like, Kristaps is obviously a swing. Like, he plays all over the court. What does that say? Like, how does that help us in the future with Asa having Kristaps on the court as a veteran, kind of showing him some of the ropes?
Oh, it's going to be great. I think Asa's biggest problem is he's a center and a forward's body.
Yeah, that's right.
Al
Horford.
He is literally Al Horford 2.0. Asa's a beast. Asa can shoot the three really well. I think he's going to continue to develop in the 3-point percentage he did over his time at Georgia for that year. But Asa just kind of struggles being that like athletic, dynamic, like four.
Okay.
He's not like he's a center and I'm telling you, he's a small ball center, basically. He's got good defensive awareness. The guy can, like I said, flat out shoot the three ball, but the dude's not going to go get you a bucket. He's going to play good defense. He's going to pop, do a pick and roll with, I don't know, probably Null. He'll probably run a pick and roll with Null and might hit the three. But honestly, dude, we have so much front court depth that I don't really think we're going to see Asa Newell a ton out there this year.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Do we really want to, too? Because I feel like a guy like him, who's a first-round pick, most of the time, it's great if they can develop for a year or two, right?
For sure.
But we want him to get time. Hopefully it's in, the scut moments of the game when we're already up 20, beating the brakes off of the Pelicans and then the people we should beat, like Charlotte.
Right.
Who we'll talk about. You already mentioned injuries around those teams, man. I don't know who runs their training staff, but it's like the same as like the Miami Dolphins. I think they're recruiting the same people because it's like I've never seen so many ankle, knee, and calf Achilles injuries on a program in my life. But
100%.
that's the thing is like,
hey, at least Zion got skinny, dude.
Dude, he got so skinny.
How long is that gonna last though? I mean, he's gonna be in hotels across the country ordering pizzas like Charles Barkley again.
Did y'all see Jeff Teague's take on that?
No, what did he say? I love Teague. His podcast is
I saw the
too.
clip of it. Yeah, go ahead.
Teague is basically like, man, you got to be kidding me, man. You were fat as hell for years, man. He's like, right early.
He's
Could you
looking for
imagine?
that.
I mean, that's a player who, if he had just leaned up when he got in the league,
Yeah.
He's just
my
looking
God.
for a contract extension after this season, is what it is.
Yeah. Dude,
He's one of those guys when he walks in a room too. He's got the big man waddle. I know the big man waddle. I know it by heart, and I'm 100 pounds on that guy.
Man looks like he's always chafing.
Yeah,
100%.
It's chronic chafe, sponsored by
That's so
Boudreaux's
good.
butt paste.
Hey, going back to Asa really
Yeah.
quick. So, but you alluded to a good thing that I actually want to bring up, which is you basically were like, how much can KP affect Asa? I think KP will actually have more of an effect on Mo Gay. And
Okay.
I am big on Mo Gay. I
Okay.
think that guy he's just so lanky, freakishly athletic, unbelievable at defense. Like, I actually think Quinn kind of likes Gay. He's been through the College Park system. He's come up. He's kind of our like 8th guy, maybe
Yeah.
9th guy. But I do think he's going to back up KP like at like a center position. I think if that guy continues to put on some muscle, he's going to be really, really good for us, honestly.
And you mentioned having a 8th guy.
Yeah.
Go look at any team that's winning anything. They got 9 guys who
Yes.
can contribute.
Yes.
And it's something the Hawks over the
Absolutely.
past few seasons, it's seemingly like a gap, right?
Yeah.
It's like every year we have a new 7, 8, 9 guy. They don't pan out. They get hurt. Like we've mentioned a lot of names coming through already. Nance being one of them, who he was supposed to have a bigger role. This year, like you said, it's like, okay, you see some guys coming out of development. You see some guys coming in for specific reasons around a specific strategy that is brought down from the top of management to the coaching and the players, like
Yeah.
the mesh there.
Yeah.
That impact is something that really could be focused on and really needs to be watched by fans, I think, is like, how does the chemistry work in the first preseason games, obviously, but the first 10 games of the season, what are we seeing?
Yeah. 100%.
But going back to what you said about just having that depth and having those guys on the bench, I think that's something that we have have struggled with a lot over the past couple years, especially when, let's say, 2 of our big guys get injured, like, 2 of our stars get injured. I mean, it really puts us in hell, kind of, when it comes to these players having to go out there that are typically underdeveloped too. So they're going out there, and it's led to a lot of leads being blown or a lot of us just getting blown out.
Yeah. No, totally, man. Totally. I mean, it's the fact that we can roll out a 9th guy and not be like George Niang again. You talk about big man Waddle out on the court. I mean, that guy, Niang was the most frustrating player ever to watch in the playoffs. The guy could not do any defense, and he didn't really hit many of his threes, which is kind of what he's known for.
If you got a guy who's known for making threes and disappears in the playoff as a Hawks fan with ISO Joe days growing up, can't have that.
Yeah.
And obviously he wasn't the guy we lean on like Joe was, but still I'm scarred from guys who perform in the regular season and disappear in the postseason. And I think there's a player we haven't mentioned at all that is going to be a beast this year. Everyone expects Jalen Johnson to be a beast, and the way that he really accelerated his play last year.
Yeah.
And became a real threat. I mean, he's a guy now that you have to scheme for, because as we get in, as his shooting percentages go up, his 3-point percentage has gone up. Like, everything on him offensively has increased, and we know that he can change the game defensively too. That's a concern. So you got 4 guys on the court realistically who, as they develop, can be game switchers. How does that affect the Hawks immediately in my mind? Trae Young getting rest. Tell me what you expect from Jalen this year too.
If Jalen stays healthy, he's going to be an all-star.
Wow. I love that. To have
100%.
2 all-stars come from Atlanta this year, potentially 3 if Porzingis is healthy and Trae's going to do what Trae does. I would actually not mind seeing Trae's efficiency metrics drop a little bit due to having talent around him. I think I'm kind of hoping on it. Like, I'd love to see Trae average 21, not 27.
Yeah.
And have, 8 assists a game, not 10. Like, the idea that the ball is moving away from Trae and he can still do what Trae does. Like, I want to see him take over when we're playing the Knicks every time.
100%.
Like, there's something deep down that gets me juiced when I see him just waving goodbye to those fans.
Yeah, and I think that has to also do with our team being a lot less predictable, right? Like, those stats coming down is, hey, we don't, or the other team doesn't need to defend just 2 people to completely stop us, that we have weapons all around the court.
100%. JJ's is so good at so much. Obviously, his transition offense is the key for his whole game. Like the fact that he's so athletic, he can push the ball down the court so quick and just dunk on everybody. He's a really good passer. He's developing his 3-point percentage shot. I really, really like JJ a ton. I think he's a player the Hawks haven't had. To me, he's actually a more athletic, can push the ball in transition offense more. But he's got like a lot of Paul Millsap vibes. To me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
Wow.
it's like he's like the glue guy that nobody really, is like, wow, like you're really good and like you're making this team actually play a lot better. But like, I don't really know what it is, but he's more athletic version of that.
Yeah, and the defensive rim protection too. Like Millsap,
yeah.
he wouldn't jump out of the gym, but he was thick.
Totally.
Jalen can jump, and Jalen, you've seen his progression from 2013, 2014, like to 2024, 2025 season.
Yeah.
6. I'm sorry. Yeah, blocks per game. And then steals going up as well. Like
Yeah.
those numbers are all increasing to averaging 1 a game.
Totally.
And defensive identity for the Hawks has been missing for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
It's like been confused. We have guys who flash hard like Dyson, but like, everybody talks smack about Trae Young. I think he's taken that with a chip on his shoulder too, to be like, I have to do something around the perimeter knowing I'm useless in the paint.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually defense is one of our biggest strengths this year.
That's awesome.
Which is crazy.
That's huge.
That is so big.
Yeah, it's huge. It now we're not the Magic,
Right.
We're not going to defend like the Magic can. The Magic are unbelievable at defense.
The Wagner brothers,
Physical.
man, those guys.
Dude,
crazy
those guys
over
are
there.
sick.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, you look up and down our roster. I mean, basically everybody but Trae is above average on defense.
That's incredible. And we don't need him to be, again, like for plus minus sake. I mean, if you are a stat nerd on what you need to do to win, like the Hawks are never, I don't say never. There's going to be games where some guys don't shoot well, but like we're never going to hold a team really below 85 points like it used to be, right? Like they're going to be scoring games. But what in your mind, Beach, what does kind of like a number on defense look like to where like if the Hawks can hold a team below X every game, we're going to win that game without a doubt? Is that like 97?
Oh my gosh, that's a
105, 102. Like, what can we look for? I do this with the Falcons all the time. The number's 24. If we're the first ones to get to 24 points or hold a team under 24, like, I know it's obvious if a team scores more, they win, but that's how we have to look at it. And it's been correct, unfortunately, every game, as Kraemer has seen.
Yeah.
The NBA is so good at offense, and that it's just it's kind of crazy how much better the NBA teams are at offense these days. I mean, I think if you can hold a team 105, between 105 and 100, I mean, gosh, if you're under 100, they're having actually a bad offensive game as opposed to you having a good defensive game. So I think if you can keep them under 105, I think you're good. I think this Hawks team can score 110 a night for sure.
You heard it here first, people. 105 is the magic number we're looking at last season.
Yeah, all you avid gamblers out there, that's the Beach line. You can hedge that. You can hedge that every week if you want to.
Don't quote me.
No, that's awesome. I think as we look to this season too, we've already kind of talked about it. I know you have some keys to success and what we need to look at. I'd love to hear you break down the keys to success, and then we can jump into kind of where, like you talked about, our biggest vulnerabilities are.
Dude, I'm so pumped to talk about this. Okay, so our number one key to success this year, like above everything else, is Riche.
Wow.
If Riche has an above average season, we are going to be so good.
So what does above average look like for Riche? Like, I want to hear straight into it. Like, what does he have to do to swing this team?
Bro, if he keeps his same, if Riche is the same on the back half of last season as he will be all potentially this season, we're going to be a top 3 seed in the East. Without question. Without question. There's a lot of assumptions in there. You're assuming health. You're assuming, everyone else can shoot and have good, good season. But Riche is 6'10", and he's our 3. Okay? So, like, if Riche can literally catch a Trae pass and shoot a 40% clip or roughly a 40% clip from the 3, he doesn't even have to create. And he's not really much of a creator himself. He showed flashes of it last year. I don't know if you guys have watched his game, but like he'll do a kind of little jab step between the legs, step back 3. He's hit a couple of those that look really good. He also played really good in Eurobasket this past summer.
So I did watch some of that. I did watch some of those highlights from him and Porzingis overseas playing just unreal ball.
Unreal ball. I mean, if Riche has a above average season, not calling him to be an all-star. I'm not calling him to be an absolute beast or shoot some kind of canard percentage from three. But dude, if the guy has an above average clip from three, can continue to guard the way he is, we are going to be so freakishly good. Our small ball lineup is Trey, Dyson, Reese Shea, and then JJ, and then you'll kind of pick between KP and OO. But he doesn't even play in our big lineup. He's our sixth man in our big lineup. Trey, Dyson, JJ, Okongwu, and KP. So, like, if that guy has an above average season, we're gonna be well.
Yeah,
That's
if
awesome to hear.
you look at last season, right, rookie season for a guy, these aren't rookie numbers that he put up already, right? It's not like what we expect from Asa this year.
Right.
On the other side of it, he averaged 12.6 points per game.
Right.
He averaged 3.6 rebounds, assist numbers 1.2, win shares 1.8 for the team. He also shot 35% from three. So for a power forward who is a power forward, small forward, however you want to play him, to shoot that percentage, that's where we start getting into exactly what we want to see, I feel like, from Snyder extending the court as well as being able to flash those guys who can create. Man, I got to tell you, like, talking about this, even as we get into it, talking about these players' lines, and like if we can see 2% increase in efficiency on shooting from both the field and 3-point percentage. I mean, you're very right. Like on paper, this is a top 3 team in the East.
All right, hear this. Check this out. First 39 games, 28% from three. Final 23 games, 44.7% from three.
Good Lord.
So, and then his average was 12 points, 3 rebounds. Dude, if that guy stays at a 40 to 45, that's where he kind of was he was 45% in the back half. But if he's between 40 and 45% all year, he's going to average 17 points a game, 4 or 5 rebounds. And that guy is going to be our glue guy. He's going to be our guy that we're like, holy crap, Reese Shea changed the entire season.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's something that
Can't wait
we're
to
hoping
see
kids are wearing this guy's jersey after this season around Atlanta.
So he was our number 1 pick, right? So he gets looked at in this way that I think is quite unfair because he just fell in this draft class and he's like, look, there's no one else around. Sarr's okay, but he's with the Wizards. And so it's like, I think if Reese Shea had actually opted to go, let's say he like had another year in France and he actually decided to get drafted this past season with like that loaded draft, Reese Shea's still a top 7, top 10 pick. He's not a true number 1, but dude, if I had to tell you this past season, guys, you're going to get number 7, you're going to get Reese Shea. Everyone's fired up.
Yeah.
For some reason he gets this kind of like weird vibe because he was the number 1 pick and he's not living up to like a number 1 pick status. But I just don't think that's fair for the guy.
Also, there's a ton of number 1 picks that don't pan the way you expect them to in the NBA.
Was it Anthony Bennett?
Yeah. What was way back? Played in Portland. He coaches for Ohio State now. Man, why? He's Greg Odom.
Greg Odom, dude.
Greg Odom. Probably he had like the LeBron James hype. Like, this guy's going to be a world beater, and injuries and all that, and ineffective play kind of led to him being a backseat guy. I don't expect to see that with Reese Shea based on how we're already using him.
Dude, I completely agree. Do y'all want me to continue on my keys to the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Please.
That's an exciting one. You started off hot.
Second key to the year, Porzingis health. If we talked about this earlier, we kind of alluded to it earlier. Porzingis is kind of just like, it's like, dude, if you're 7 feet tall, you're just gonna get injured.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way God made you. You're just gonna get injured. Just deal with it. So he's gonna have injuries. The weirdest part about Porzingis from last year, and if you read the Celtics blogs, it's actually hilarious. I feel bad even bringing this up, but like he had this like mystery illness at the end of last year.
Yeah, there was some weird rumors speculating that.
Yeah. I'm going to respect the guy, and y'all can do your own research if you want. But
he's one of our guys. Respect him.
Yeah. We're going to respect Porzingis. But it was like a viral syndrome. He like couldn't play in the playoffs. He had this fatigue and dizziness and all this other stuff. But like it wasn't like a knee or like an ankle.
Right.
It was like a mystery illness. So outside of that, last season, I mean, I felt like he was having a pretty good year. I mean, Celtics obviously were a really good team, but like if all the mystery illness is behind him and he can play in golly, 60 of our games, it's going to be key. He's going to miss 10 to 15 games. He's just going to. If I'm Snyder, I actually don't play him in some of the games.
Yeah.
That's
Wizard is,
fair. Yeah.
Some people hate that kind of stuff.
yeah.
But this is like strategically actually benching someone because he has the history of health issues, not just because he's, a veteran or such. It's not like a LeBron situation where LeBron's like, dude, I'm not playing this game. Like, you guys can do this without me. This is a strategic benching because of health issues in the past. And we're going to need, if we want to make a deep playoff run, that man needs to be healthy and around for it.
100%.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk as if I'm a hater, right?
Okay.
I'm not.
Let's do some role. Let's
do some role play. Yeah, let's do some cold call role play. I'm a guest from another team. I'm saying Porzingis, what was going on was more mental and more Jason Tatum is the king of this show. I'm not going to get any looks. It's only hurting my future trade value. So I'm sick. Is that fair? Is that kind of what everyone's thinking a little bit?
So I heard some crazy diabolical rumors of what the sickness actually was, but I'm not going to get into that.
That's what I
think maybe Connor, you've also heard
I
that.
haven't heard the rumors. Someone tell
Connor,
me.
you want to?
Kraemer, you got it. Kraemer, you got it.
Okay, well now I'm scared that maybe we heard two different things because
someone's got to tell me a rumor ASAP.
All right, somebody. I heard from something and somewhere that he has developed and been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease of HIV. Connor, I guess that's not what you heard.
No, that is what I've heard.
Okay, cool.
I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah, Kenny,
it's not for us to speculate. No, I'll stop right here with that. Look, maybe if we have a Magic Johnson effect, I'm cool with that. I don't.
Magic Johnson, the billionaire, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not a hater.
Wow.
I really hope it's not. That's tough to hear if it is. Let's just move on. I wish I had never mentioned it.
I really hope we don't clip that and make that into a nice YouTube short. Anyway,
yeah, I'm sure that's gonna find its way there. I was very off. That's okay. Okay, let's move on to the next success or the next step for success.
The final thing here is we need a 3-point percentage shooting from Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jalen Johnson to be above 38% all season.
Okay.
So Nickeil Alexander-Walker last season, regular season, 38%. Playoffs with the T-Wolves, 34%. So took a small decrease. So maybe the crowds got to him or something. But you have to have Nickeil Alexander-Walker when he comes in. He's going to back up Trey. He's going to back up Dyson. He's going to he's going to be our sixth guy. He's going to play a significant amount. So we need him to truly shoot the ball as good as he did all season, including in the playoffs, because we're going to make the playoffs this year if we stay healthy. It's just a fact.
So what you're saying is basically, what you're saying is if we miss the playoffs, it's 90% of that is going to probably factor into the health of the players. Yep.
And Reece Shay's ability to play and shoot the ball well. And
you're really putting a lot of pressure on this guy.
Reece Shay is truly the glue. Reece Shay is truly going to be the glue of the season. Do I think we can make a play in, or even potentially playoff if like one of our big five or six gets hurt? Yeah, I do. I think we can. Really quick on Jalen, because I said shooting from Naw and JJ. JJ shot 31% from three last year. That's terrible. Like, he needs to shoot better. He needs to shoot above 35%, in my opinion. So if JJ and Naw can shoot above 38% from three all season, we are going to be unreal. The ability for JJ to hit that pick and roll, pop, and actually hit brings that defender out, right? And so then if he hits that three on a more consistent basis, they have to respect him. He's so athletic. Any guy that's going to guard him, he's going to just freaking get right past him for that lob. So to me, Naw's shooting, you want to obviously see that be high, but if JJ can hit at 35 to 38% from three, dude, it's gonna be really, really scary. So in summary, Shea is the glue guy. He's got to be freaking good all year. KP's got to stay healthy, play 60 games or more. And we got to have shooting percentages from Null and JJ above 38%. If we do, we are already so good on defense. These guys have natural defensive talent, the whole roster except for Trey. And Trey's even honestly average at defense now. I think the team has kind of elevated his care about defense in a really real way. If those three things can happen, I really think we're looking at a third seed. I really do.
I think it's funny too that two of the things you mentioned with Shea and Jalen and other guys, and then health. And we're talking about Porzingis. Like, I mean, other guys got to stay healthy, but it really comes down to like how much of an impact that makes. You can't plan for injury. Like, that's not something you can do as a team.
Correct.
And it's just, you can expect it. I'm sure we go into a season expecting exactly what you're saying. Like, he's going to be out for 15 games. Let's just count on that.
100%.
But those percentages you're talking about increase all happen if Porzingis is on the court.
Yeah.
Right? That draws so much attention to where, okay, we got to worry about this guy who can extend. Like, we can't lag off of him when he's in the corner for a three because, we have to go protect the rim. Also, it's like, okay, well, now you've just left the court open for slashers and game breakers
100%.
that we have on this team. We're in a really good spot if that stays that way.
Yeah.
And so, Kristaps is unfortunately the only guy when I look at this roster up and down where I'm like, man, if he isn't in the game, if he isn't healthy, that totally changes how we have to play.
Yes.
Because when we look at our center position in general, there's no one who comes in and shifts a game that way from how they can extend.
Yeah.
So I don't mind Porzingis' minutes going down if it means he's healthier. Like, you know what I mean? Like, keep him on the court to game break it, then let's go small and run the ball fast up the court.
100%. I mean, credit to the front office guys. Like, really, let's go down the list. And I actually question for you guys here. Okay,
yeah.
Like this: Trey Dyson, JJ, OO, KP, and Null. If one of those 6 guys is out for the season, where do you think we land?
Okay, to my mind, it differs a bit if it's Trey or Porzingis. But in the same mindset, if we lose one guy with the talent we have, and now at least with Trey out, if he's the guy, we have Kennard, we have other guys who can handle it and still make plays. I feel like we're still not having to play in anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
I think that's
Kraemer?
Yeah, I think that's respectable. I think that's a good take. I mean, when it comes to just those injuries, I guess it does really depend on who it is, right? Because it changes how the offensive scheme completely goes if it's Trey or if it's KP. But I think, I don't know, we probably dropped to like a 5th, 6th seed.
I don't disagree with y'all at all. I have this hot take that, let's say Trey gets out for the season. Okay. Worst case scenario, knock on wood. I don't want that to happen. But like, let's say Trey gets hurt and gets out for the season. Null fills in. He's your starting point guard. The dude has been kind of waiting on a moment. I'm not saying Trey's super crucial to the team.
Right.
Crucial to the team. If Trey's out and Null fills in, let's say Null has a decent season, you still make the play in. If Dyson's out for the season, you fill in Null, you still make the play in. You might even still make the playoffs, without Dyson. JJ, we made the play in without JJ on the OO, you just fill in with JJ and KP and you run KP consistently and maybe Mo Gay gets some more minutes. OO, KP, that one would hurt because obviously he's going to stretch the floor in such a big way. He's gigantic on defense, but kind of similar to Trey, you just backfill in with some of the guys on the bench. We're so deep in our front court. It's unbelievable. I feel like no matter the way you break it down, even if one of these guys is out for the season, you still probably make the play in at minimum. I really believe that.
That's
Trey
awesome.
is obviously would be a huge deal because he's such a good facilitator. Golly, if you can just fill in Null in any of these places or KP or OO on the front court in some different places, I still think you're looking at a really good team. I think that's a credit to the management.
Speak your truth, man. Speak your truth. That's not crazy at all, man. If that's what you believe in, I love to hear it. That gets me fired up to hear somebody with some heart talking about the Hawks like this, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're big on vibes around here. We think it can change a season.
It's all vibes.
So I think it's statistically all correct too. And we didn't talk about OO much. Like what he brings defensively as well as like rebounding is incredible. Like his talent level is off the charts.
Yeah.
He can do dirty work that is
Totally.
very underappreciated in a game. And then I mean, we look at the East in general this year, like what we're going up against. There's a few teams that are obviously standout. Like the Celtics are going to be the front runner and contender.
No.
Dude, health is a big problem with them as well, though. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
I actually
it really
disagree,
depends.
I
Okay.
disagree.
Tell me about that.
Well, Tatum's out for the year. So
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was his Achilles.
Tatum's out for the year. So the East is weak this year. I mean, Halliburton's out for the year, so the Pacers are not going to be as good. So you're looking at a wide open East. I mean, you've really got Cavs, Knicks, and Magic above the Hawks in the East. That's it.
Okay.
And I honestly believe that the Magic and the Hawks, the Magic are a good team. I hate this because I hate Orlando.
Yeah,
in
can't stand
general.
him.
Yeah, but like the Magic are so fun to watch, dude. I'm all about some hard-nosed defensive basketball, and that's what the Magic do. And they're fun, and they're long, and they're athletic, and they pass the basketball. They shoot the ball really well.
They're fundamental. That's a fundamental
Oh.
team, and I say it's credit to all the European players that they have because that's all they teach over there is, you know, bounce pass, do this. It's all about assists. They're working together. They're all team guys. There's not like really any superstar that really stands out of Orlando. It's everybody's kind of doing their job, and it shows. It just shows that, you know, with their win percentage.
Well, I disagree with no superstar on the Magic. I mean, Banchero and Wagner are two freaking beasts.
Yeah.
Like, either of those guys could take a game over without a doubt. I mean, Banchero is, dude, I feel like he's underrated. The guy is unbelievable. And he's just freaking strong. The guy can just muscle. He's kind of like Cade Cunningham in the way. He just muscles his way to the basket and score no matter what, you know?
Yeah, he's a large guy. Big
Large
body.
guy. But yeah, I mean, I think for some reason, I don't really know why, the Cavs really don't scare me as much. They don't, I mean, Donovan Mitchell's a beast, but like, to me, they don't really have like a Tatum. They don't have like a...
Dude, what do you mean? They just got Lonzo Ball.
I heard they were actually really eager to include his brothers in that deal too.
Yeah,
They were going to take a pay cut.
My guy. Lonzo's my guy.
No, and the teams that you've mentioned, right? So we talk about the Magic specifically.
Yeah.
When the season starts, like we got our preseason games. When the season starts, the Raptors come to town for our first home game on October 22nd. We immediately go to the Magic, the second game of the season. So that's one, like with what you're telling me, and I totally believe it too, is like, let's mark that game on the 24th as a test game, right? A real like early season. Here we go. This is what playoff games could feel like early on. Because early beginning of the season, it's inevitable in a sport when you play more than 50 games in general. There's gonna be lulls. It's like it's part of the reason I get frustrated with baseball, for instance, is like you let teams get into a June and they kind of get down and it's, you know, whatever. The hype of the season is still high, right? At the very beginning. So pressure's going to be up. Players are going to be excited to put on a performance. Yeah. Going to the Magic will be kind of a test. And I'm actually, Connor, we may have you come back on to talk about that game briefly because I'm excited what you talked about to get your opinions on that. But then we got the Thunder at home, the Bulls, Nets, and Pacers. So after the Thunder come, a little bit easier of a next three games on paper. There is no easy game for these Hawks, in my opinion, in the first 12 games. Like, this is a prove-it moment to what you talked about from general manager down to players. Are we cohesive? Are we working as a team? Kristaps is a banger, but he is new to the team. He's new to the organization. He's new to all these players, every single one of them.
Yeah, I see it as stick them in the trenches, man. Go ahead. Give them some tough love. Let those guys go in there and show what they're about. I mean, I would love to see all these games as test games to say, hey, let's see what you guys been working on this offseason because you guys got pieces, so show the fans something.
Yeah, and the Hawks are
100%.
notorious slow starters, too. I mean, Connor, I think you could agree with that. Like, we talked about last season, it's like, man, back half, everybody played big. I don't want to deal with that. Right. Yeah. I understand going through stretches of shooting performances where some guys are going to have 3 game, just cold streaks. That's just NBA basketball. That's basketball in general. I don't want to see the Hawks after the first 20 games, us talking about them being a play-in team or having to work to be in the bottom of the playoffs. How do you do that is you win the games you're supposed to win. Yeah. And when you're on the road, you got to take 33% of those in the tough games against Orlando, against the Knicks. Like, we got to win a certain substantial amount of away games, which I almost feel like Trey gets more fired up for. I do like that about him.
I agree.
I love that about him.
I think these early statement games are perfect ways to put the league on notice. Be like, hey, the Hawks are coming, and They're here, baby.
Yeah.
Freaking
And look,
yeah.
this is a season that's got me excited and if you're an Atlanta fan in general listening to this, every single team's been searching for identity for a long time. The Braves found it for a season and it was awesome. Like what that felt like was incredible. It wasn't sustainable because it was a magic season. Like there's no doubt about it. The Hawks are in a position, and Connor told me this too, like they are the most exciting team that Atlanta has right now. Like they are really the team that like we're looking forward to seeing the progression of guys who are really, really talented.
Yeah.
We can't worry about health, but if you're an Atlanta fan, there is true excitement around a team this season. Like even the Falcons, like we were obviously way over the top, and we always will be for them. They're our dirty birds. We're going to come in swinging every year, say we're going to win 13 games, right, Kraemer? And what we're going to do is we're going to do that. I think the Hawks' ceiling, though, is so much higher than the others initially, and that adds pressure. But this is a team that's now has seasons behind it for the most part. Even Ricochet has one season behind him.
I mean, this team can accept it. That 2021 season, when they made that deep, that was the year, right?
So
they made
much
that
fun.
deep.
Yeah.
I was at the Battery, like going crazy. I was going into I was going to Braves games and then leaving Braves games to go watch Hawks games, and both teams were good. It was so electric.
I think that season too, man, like the Knicks rivalry that we kind of created has gotten me. That's actually one of the things that really gets me most excited is like the Hawks have rivals who are, when Trey steps on the court, can't stop saying F you, Trey, and booing him from the moment he gets in and leaves. And that little wave goodbye, blowing kisses to him. Like, dude, I absolutely love that.
When he hit that bow, I mean, he basically moved into the state of New York's head and lives there rent free right now.
Yeah, that's not cheap rent too. That's not cheap rent.
It's not cheap rent.
Yeah, it's a really exciting season. Connor, is there anything you want to leave us with too to get excited about, or something you want to say about this Hawks team that you just want to let everybody know about?
Man, I honestly feel like I covered a lot. I think the only other thing we didn't hit on is mid-season trades, what you could maybe look for. I think if they do any of that, they need to look towards a true backup point guard. Maybe Naw fills that, maybe he doesn't, but someone who can create, like legitimately create, kind of a Lou Will vibe, or former Jamal Crawford vibe.
Oh man,
like,
these are both tugging on my heartstrings right now.
That would put us over the top in my mind. But the last thing that I want to hit on here is, if you're a Hawks fan, you absolutely have to pull against the Pelicans and the Bucks this year.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know about the first round pick swap that we got for Asa Newell. Did you guys read into that?
Talk to me.
Okay, this is fascinating stuff. Okay, we have fleeced the Pelicans so many times, and this is the cherry on top. Literally,
the city of New Orleans, man. City of New Orleans.
We had pick 13. We had some guys we were apparently targeting. The Pelicans call us and they're like, "Hey, we really want Queen out of Maryland, Derek Queen." Okay. And the Hawks were like, "We don't want Queen. Can we have your 23rd pick? And then will you give us your unprotected first round pick next year?" And if they said yes, the Hawks still got who they were targeting at 13. So Asa was their guy they were going to pick at 13. He fell to 23. They got him at 23, 10 picks later.
So we have the Pelicans unprotected
we
first
have
round for next year.
It's a unique unprotected 2026 pick. We get the better of the Pelicans or the Bucks for unprotected first round pick. So Bucks are obviously, the Bucks are legit. Giannis is a beast. They're probably going to make the play under the playoffs no matter what, because they're always good. But you actually want to pull against both, and we get the better of those picks. So let's say the Pelicans have the worst season in franchise history and they lose every game. They're like projected number 1 overall pick in the lottery. That's our pick. So if
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Made it with injuries again, we get the pick. If the Bucks have a terrible year, Giannis gets hurt, whatever, we get their pick. It's the better of those two teams.
Well, I've already got so many thoughts, and this is going to be exciting for next season too. Is like if there's not a game breaker available at whatever pick that I say, I mean, hopefully it's top 4 picks.
Right.
Let's say it's 6, and it happens out this way. Like, and I know I'm an Auburn guy showing some bias here, but like if you're talking about getting depth at the guard position with a guy like Tahad Pettiford coming out of college, who is already preseason all SEC, averaged almost 20 points last year as a freshman, you grab a guy like that.
Yeah.
That can come in and be lethal
Oh, yeah.
right? Okay, now we're talking about some future, or a center who can stretch like Porzingis does, who's young. Oh my gosh, man. Okay, so I'm about to be the biggest Bucks hater you've ever seen in my life.
Be a Bucks hater, be a
Pelicans are gonna suck, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
I'll
you
be a
don't
Bucks
have
hater, though.
to put any curse on them. They'll do that themselves.
It's New Orleans, man.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
They got paper mache ankles down there, dude. It's unbelievable.
Do you remember
Well,
when
listen-
Zion was so big that he bursted out of his own shoe and just completely messed up his
At
ankle?
North Carolina too. It's like you guys
He
are
did
wearing
it.
Jordans
Yeah, he
every
did
day.
him. Yeah, he did it both places.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good, Connor. Thanks so much for coming on and talking about this with us.
Appreciate having you, man.
Yeah, man.
This
Thanks,
has got
man.
us juiced up. So we'll have you on. We'll have you call in at minimum after that Orlando game, and we'll have a little chat about that to see where we stand and where your thoughts are. But again,
Perfect.
appreciate it. And
Yeah.
man, thanks
All
a
right.
lot.
Thanks, boys.
Man, I don't know about you, Kramer, but I am jacked up now for some Hawks basketball.
Yeah. Also, disclaimer: we're not trying to spread any rumors. KG, if you somehow ever listen to this ever, that's just what Twitter was saying. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, we're just fans. All we can get is what we get from Twitter, dude.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us and listening to another episode of the Atlanta Sports Special. And hey, again, if you flew here or you grew here, we really appreciate having you.
Rise up.